watching Still Crazy after all these beers.
Still Crazy After All These Beers is brought to you by our friends at Chilled Nightlife and Entertainment Magazine. Eat, drink, and be merry at chilledmagazine.com. And by Porta-Pong, the world's #1 best-selling inflatable floating beer pong table at portapong.com.
It's the 2009 Atlantic City Beer Fest. I'm here at the Michelob booth with one of their brewers, Paul Mancuso. How you doing, man?
Hey, great to see you.
Oh, I'll tell you what, we're having a great time here in Atlantic City, huh? Did you ever think it would be this big?
Hey, 15,000 people enjoying Michelob beer. What's better?
You know, I was standing outside when they opened up the gates around noon today, 3 or 4 hours ago, and I'll tell you what, that line of people came in, they went straight for the Michelob booth.
That's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
It's a wonderful thing.
Well, you know, Michelob started in 1896. Think about it. And it's always stood for quality with respect to ingredients and flavor and all that. And hey, it's been going well all these years.
Paul, I gotta ask you, man, I'll tell you, you guys are coming out with a line of, can we call them craft flavors?
Yes, exactly. Well, you know what, craft brewing, think about it. It was not only like 15 years ago maybe when the microbreweries, really, there was a big mystique and they stood for quality and so on. These microbrewers got bigger. And so what do you call the beer that they produce? Craft beers. Exactly. You know, people need to be concerned about the liquid in the bottle, not the label. You know, all brewers are craft brewers. They take the best of the ingredients and they make the finest beers they can. So all of us are craft brewers.
You know, it's got to be heartening for you to see the response of the public as they come into a show. And let's face it, there are 300 or 400 different flavors here. And obviously some new ones for people, but they're really attracted to some of the things you guys are doing.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we've got several different beers. You know, the Michelob Brewing Company, if you think about it, I'm not sure if you understand how we actually got our start, the history. Our research pilot brewery started in the early 80s, where we actually started developing some new beers and so on. And all of the beers that are produced today that end up in our big breweries go through the research pilot brewery, where our brewmasters have the autonomy and just the creative license to do all kinds of different things and come up with new recipes and so on. But today we have a couple of experimental beers.
And we're holding them, right?
We're holding one right now, a Tomahop it's called.
Tomahop.
Tomahop. It's a 99 IBU, 22.4 OG beer, 6% rye malt, very, very nice. It's very flavorful. It's outstanding.
I love, and I mentioned this earlier to several people, I love the addition of rye. It's such an underused grain, but it adds that earthiness, spiciness to a beer.
Yes, as long as it's not overdone.
Absolutely.
As long as it's overdone. We chose 6%, that works for us. You combine that with the two-row malt, the caramel malt, the carapils we're using in our recipes, you know, and with the hop varieties we're using. And when we're hopping, it's worked out great. 9.2% alcohol, kind of balances. Making beer is all about balance. Balance is everything.
I love to hear you say that, because I love beers that are balanced as opposed to one-dimensional beers.
Absolutely. You can have a beer that's very, very empty in the middle, but has a real hop punch at the end. You know, maybe that's not for everybody. All right? You want something that's got a total balance.
And we call this experimental, which means a final decision probably has not been made on this yet.
Absolutely. You know, the Michelob Brewing Company uses these festivals for exactly this. We'll bring special beers here, and we'll try them. We'll see what people think. We'll get feedback and go from there. We've got this beer. We've got another beer we're calling it a pear beer. We don't have a name for it yet, because basically it's a beer that's very low in bitterness, very nice overall balance. It's got some spices, and we add a little pear juice to the fermentation. So it's got a very nice little subtle sweetness, yet a little pear essence. Very cool.
Now, is that being thought of as a maybe a seasonal beer, a summer beer at this point? Not really.
Don't know yet. Don't know yet. We'll see.
Now, when I hear the name of this, Tomahop, I kind of know the origin of that. Maybe you could explain that to the public.
Well, the Tomahawk hops, yeah, it's a variety we're using in this particular beer. Now, this Tomahop particular beer is hopped several different times throughout the process. We're hopping the mash, we're hopping the brew kettle, we're dry hopping it, which gives that nice aromatics. 99 IBUs requires a lot of hops to get the job done. But I think you'll agree it's very fine balance.
You know what? I work with a number of guys and deal with people who they're hopheads. They love that hop bite. And when I tried a glass of this a couple hours ago, of course I smell it first. You look at it, you look at the color, you look at the foam retention, and you smell it. And I got, whoa, what an aroma coming through. And when I had my first sip, I said, I got about a dozen guys I deal with on a daily basis who would love to try some of this. So I'm going to put my vote in the ballot box for this one. I didn't try the pear yet. I'll try that later on this evening, but I love this beer.
Oh, thank you very much. Absolutely, thank you very much. And how about that color, huh? Is that beautiful?
This is a beautiful beer, absolutely beautiful beer. So we're going to hope that this thing comes out, because this is a home run as far as I'm concerned.
And you know what we have to do too? I hate to sound like we're advertising here, but we have really done some cool stuff. The Michelob Brewing Company. We've got some wheat beers, two of which are here. The Shock Top, which is very nice hits of citrus with some coriander, very well balanced. As well as we have a Hop Hound, which is our seasonal beer, which is very nice as well. And also in the sampler pack, we have a Michelob sampler pack that also has in it a Dunkelweiss, which is like a dark wheat beer made with a Bavarian wheat yeast, which gives that nice banana and clove.
Banana clove coming
exactly
through.
Right, exactly. And we have a honey wheat that has a nice hint of like an orange blossom honey. Outstanding. Outstanding.
Well, there's no question. You guys have some of the best brewers in the world. How do you develop new flavors? You said your brewers have autonomy, so you get input from all of them, right?
Well, absolutely. What we'll do is our brewmasters have the ability. Hey, we'll come up with ideas, and we'll utilize once again these events to bring these ideas forward. But in our research pilot brewery, which is a 10-barrel state-of-the-art brewery, we're able to brew these beers small volume, get them out to folks, and let's see what people think. And then from there, we move.
Well, I got to tell you again, I like this beer, and I really like the things that AB/Michelob are doing. The company is really stepping forward in the craft segment. I'm seeing some new young Turks entering the company and giving some energetic input to the direction that they want this to go. And then there's guys like you who are such skilled brewers, putting out a remarkable product.
And thank you very much for that. It's a fun job. Let's face it. I have the best job in the world. You know that. Next to yours.
I have the second best.
There we are. But thank you very much. I appreciate this.
That's great. Paul, thanks for joining us. And we're here sampling these wonderful Michelob beers. Cheers to you. We'll see you next week on Still Crazy After All These Beers. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Michelle with Still Crazy After All These Beers. I just wanted to fill you guys in on how you can connect with us here at the show. One of the ways you can connect with us is to fan us on Facebook, where you can see exclusive behind-the-scenes pictures and videos that you can't get anywhere else. Another way you can connect with us is by going to twitter.com/allthesebeers. Leave any questions, comments, or suggestions for our show. Send us a tweet. Hey there, beer lovers. Did you know you could also check us out on high definition at allthesebeers.com? Or if you're on the go and have an iPhone, see any episode by pulling out your phone and visiting allthesebeers.com.